people, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
Welcome back, everyone. He admitted using a 3-letter slur for gay men when he was a SWAT team supervisor, but has insisted he was only joking. A month after Steve Maynard's admission, the city of Fairfield promoted him to police chief. 9 on Your Side chief investigative reporter Craig Cheatham uncovered more about Maynard's conduct and how the city responded to it.
Repeat after me. I, Stephen B. Maynard.
I, Stephen B. Maynard.
5 months ago, Steve Maynard became Fairfield's new police chief.
First, I'd like to thank the city manager, the council, and the mayor for the opportunity.
Mark Wendling.
Fairfield City Manager Mark Wendling made the decision to promote Maynard, a 19-year Fairfield police veteran. Maynard had been honored with major commendations, including the Police Medal, for his leadership in a dangerous tactical situation.
Steve really distinguished himself as the right candidate. He knows the department better than anyone, and he has the confidence of the staff of the department.
But as the 9 on Your Side I-Team reviewed stacks of Fairfield City records, we discovered that a month before Maynard became chief, he admitted he had jokingly used a 3-letter slur for gay men in front of officers on a SWAT team when he was a supervisor. Maynard's conduct is documented in a report by attorney Douglas Duckett. City Manager Wendling hired Duckett to investigate allegations against Maynard. Maynard claimed that he knew no one on SWAT would be offended, partly because he claimed to know that none of the officers are gay.
It was more banter. He was counseled on that. He was corrected on that. He understands the error of that. We subsequently did a lot of training for the staff. We had all-day trainings for them about a month ago.
In the investigation report provided to Wendling a month before he promoted Maynard, Duckett doesn't indicate how recently or how often Maynard admitted using the slur, and there's no indication Duckett interviewed SWAT members to answer those questions. But Duckett emphasized that Maynard showed a disturbing lack of judgment and perception, at least in this area, and it is a serious and more recent and relevant failing. Do you believe that this was a serious and relevant failing by Mr. Maynard?
I believe it is actions that he corrected. I believe if you read the whole report, Mr. Duckett does say he does not believe it is fatal to his candidacy.
Duckett actually said that Maynard should not be eliminated from becoming chief based only on 2 different incidents that happened more than a dozen years ago. In those cases, Duckett concluded that Maynard showed his penis in public at the urging of other officers while they were off duty. Maynard admitted to one incident and didn't dispute the other.
Chief Maynard has my full confidence.
The I-Team filed a request for the Fairfield records a few weeks after Maynard became chief. But in April, before the city provided the records to us, Wendling sent out a news release. He emphasized the allegations against Maynard were mostly related to off-duty actions that took place about 15 years ago. Wendling added that while he admits to immature acts as a young man, he has grown tremendously in the intervening years. Wendling failed to mention Maynard admitted using the slur as a supervisor and that the attorney who conducted the investigation was very concerned about it. That is not what your news release characterized.
Is there a question there?
Yeah.
What is your question?
Why didn't your news release more accurately reflect the findings of Mr. Duckett in this investigative report?
As I said, Craig, Steve has gone through extensive training. He understands that his use of the word may have been offensive to some. He did not intend it to be offensive.
In a December 2015 City of Fairfield report, Tim Bachman, Fairfield's Director of Development Services, determined that then Fairfield Police Officer Martin Morgan should be fired for making a sexually inappropriate remark that referenced gay men and a female officer. Bachman also discussed the inappropriate culture in the Fairfield PD, finding there are sexual jokes, sexual innuendos, and jokes and slurs regarding sexual orientation that occur periodically among the officers and supervisory personnel. According to the report, a female officer described it as a locker room atmosphere. Then Lieutenant Maynard characterized the sexual banter as a coping mechanism. The report was sent directly to City Manager Mark Wendling. When Fairfield issued its news release a few months ago, Wendling failed to mention that Duckett concluded Maynard made an inappropriate sexually suggestive remark during a meeting. The meeting was held to discuss the sexually inappropriate remark made by former officer Martin Morgan. Do you believe that you were upfront and transparent with the public in the way you characterized this investigation of the chief?
I believe that we gave the public the information they needed to know.
Chief, again, look forward to working with you. Thanks again and congratulations.
That was Craig Cheatham reporting. The I-Team requested an interview with Chief Maynard, but the city manager did not allow the chief to comment. In the investigation report, Attorney Douglas Duckett encouraged the city manager to focus on what each candidate would do to lead a significant culture change within the police department, away from the use of sexual banter and slurs, even if used in a joking way. WCPO chose to redact the report before publishing it on WCPO.com. We did that to protect the identities of officers who testified in the investigation, to protect personal information, and to delete hearsay and uncorroborated claims against Chief Maynard. This Week in Cincinnati is coming right back.